surge. It could be a surge, even if it is just lone wolf attacks. It doesn't have to be coordinated the way ISIS works.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be coordinated, but I think what we're seeing is the dividend of what's been a couple of years of intense propaganda activity by ISIS, by some of the other al-Qaeda groups that are still active as well. And particularly we're seeing the yield that comes from all these foreign terrorist fighters that have flowed to Syria and Iraq, and that have also helped to radicalise people, for example in Europe, who are conducting attacks.
We've seen a lot of reports of how that radicalization takes place. A young woman in the United States profiled in the New York Times over the weekend, some individuals who were captured being interrogated in Europe. The radicalization is a very powerful force that ISIS has. But can you see a strategy here? Is there a sense that ISIS wants territory, that ISIS wants to inflame a Shia-Sunni sectarian battle? Is there an overall sense of what they're trying to achieve here?
Well, I think you've identified some of their strategic goals. They want to certainly increase Shia-Sunni tensions. They want to gain control and keep control of territory, not just in Syria and Iraq, but also, as we've seen in Libya, where ISIS has been on the advance. They're also trying to encourage loyalty from a range of different terrorists worldwide, from Afghanistan to Southeast Asia, through to some of the African groups as well. So this is definitely a move to consolidate and to push forward their agenda on a global scale.
Would you agree with the U.S. officials who suggest there needs to be a higher level of alert or some kind of alert status over the holiday weekend here in the United States?
Well, I think each country is able to provide the best assessment of the threat as it evolves. Normally those threat assessments are going to be delivered on the basis of intelligence. There's usually a higher risk around big public events or big public holidays, but I think I'd leave it to individual countries like the US to determine what their threat level should be.
Is ISIS capable of, and is there any evidence that they might be interested in shutting down tourism in the Middle East and stifling the flow of hard currency to some of the Middle East governments who can't rely on oil?
Well, I think one country that is of deep interest to them is Tunisia. Why is Tunisia so keenly of interest? It's next door to Libya, where ISIS has a significant presence. It's been the source of many foreign terrorist fighters who've flown out to the Middle East primarily to fight in the Syria conflict. But it's also been the source of domestic radicalization. So there have been a range of groups operating in Tunisia that have been recruiting and planning attacks. If they can help destabilize the government in Tunisia, that does depend very strongly on tourism revenue, that might allow them to establish a foothold in Tunisia in a way that they haven't done yet. They've recruited Tunisians, but maybe not yet established a sufficient presence inside Tunisia.
Let's end on something a little speculative, but there is an interesting sort of contrast here. You've got Tunisia that's definitely under threat, as you say, on the western side of the Middle East and North Africa, but on the eastern side, Turkey. Turkey has a similar tourist industry. It is also an Islamist country, even though it's explicitly secular. It's got President Erdogan. Do you believe that Turkey is paying some kind of protection fund?
Do you believe that
ISIS
Turkey
out of Turkey right now
is paying some kind of
ISIS?
protection
I'm not aware of
fund?
any deal-making between
I'm not
Turkey
aware
and
of any
ISIS.
deal-making.
And actually, I think over the last year, Turkey's been at the forefront of efforts, not just to try and tackle this enormous flow of foreign terrorist fighters, but also really to try and restrict ISIS's ability to import commodities and gain revenue from trade. So Turkey's very much on the front line of this, and Turkey has radicalization to worry about itself.
And it's in the fight, as far as you can tell.
I think Turkey's part of the coalition that's been taking an effort on ISIS, yes.
Do you see any change in what's happened in Syria before we go?
Well, I think Syria, what's tricky is you have the conflict that's taking place there, and you have this overlay of terrorist groups linked to ISIS and Al-Qaeda. The longer it drags on, in many ways, the tougher the problem gets.
Alexander Evans is the coordinator of the United Nations Security Council expert team focusing on extremist groups of all kinds. Alexander, thanks so much.
Thank you.
leave it to the state to do this redistricting process. And if they want to do it with an independent commission, that's just fine.
And so many interesting discussions of dissents and people reading from the bench. This court is a very, very lively body as we end the term. Eric Citron, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Eric Citron is a partner at Goldstein & Russell, a leading Supreme Court firm and a specialist in appellate practice.
JCT, the Cultural Council of Greater Jacksonville, and Grassroots Natural Market are accepting submissions from local artists for The Square. The Square is an online venue where local artists share their work with the community and compete for a chance to be featured on WJCT TV and radio. Submit now through July 31st. To learn more about The Square and to submit your work, visit wjct.org/The Square.
Great memories of how public television and public radio have been a meaningful part of your life? Learning from Sesame Street or Zoom. You remember listening to public radio in the back seat of your parents' car? If you've grown up with us, we want to know your story. Give us a call at 904-353-6388 today.
Take away.
We're here with good news, as I'm sure you've heard already. The nightmare is finally over.
Amidst some cheering, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo yesterday afternoon announcing the capture of David Sweat, one of the escaped prisoners from the Clinton Correctional Facility in upstate New York. Sweat is in critical condition at a hospital in Albany after he was shot twice in the torso by a New York State trooper about 30 miles from the maximum security prison. His accomplice in the escape, Richard Matt, was shot and killed on Friday. Brian Mann is Adirondack reporter for North Country Public Radio. What happened in this case, Brian Mann?
Yeah, this is a dramatic ending to this. Yesterday afternoon, the state police sergeant was driving along a country road, spotted a man walking along, and gave chase on foot, and finally shot David Sweat twice to bring him to ground, ending what has been really about 22 days of fear and anxiety across this huge rural area.
And 22 along the way. They for these 22 days.
You have to take your hats off to these agents. Guys were long gone. Lived here in the North Country for many years.
The last couple of and the Adirondacks are nothing to sneer at. These guys aren't slides that are on. There was always the terrain being the on their side.
I trekked through this country where these men were hiding out. Sometimes if you make a mile in an hour, that's great time. And so the fact that they only made it 30